there's a major theme running through it, right? The theme of submission. The theme of submission to a strong, dominant, ferocious, and demanding man. Does that make you uncomfortable? Does it make you feel like you're ripped off by your education and your culture? This is what they wanted all along. They just wanted a strict Islamic master. By the way, there's a lot of girls who have a secret major crush on Muslim guys for this reason. And the whole Islamic culture. One part of their brain is like, oh, it's all horrible. And the other part wants to just get on their knees. You know, whatever. So, being that deep, dark prince, it's in you anyway. It's in you anyway. That darkness is inside you anyway. It's the beast that's inside you. It's the beast that your ancestors were when they were on the savannah, wherever the fuck they were. That's the beast that's there. Women want to feel that. So the nice little librarian girl that you see, the nice girl behind the coffee shop, the nice girl, wherever the fuck she is, the nice teacher, the nice lawyer, accountant, whatever the fuck she is, somewhere inside her is this little animal who wants to have her fucking neck grabbed, her hair pulled, and her ass fucking smacked. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Huh? That's what they want, bro. There's a lot of stuff I can't even put on this channel, to be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff I don't even share in the entourage, because I think some of the guys would be a bit too shocked. But that's the actual reality. That's the actual reality. So my quote-unquote heyday with all of this was the club scene before the pandemic, between about 2012 and about 2021. That's my heyday, my decade of destruction. That's an interesting scene. It's an interesting scene. Alcohol, you know? All sorts of stuff happening. Men are too afraid of it, man. Men are just too afraid of it. It's not the women that can't handle the sex, it's the men. Burst your little bubble, you've got a little princess. It's a misunderstanding of the nature, of their nature. That doesn't mean these other aspects of their nature are not real. Of course they're there as well. They're there as well. The profession, the mother, the friend, all those aspects are there as well, of course. You can't miss out on this one. You miss out on this one, you might leave yourself a little bit vulnerable. You might think things are just not quite complete. A lot of it's psychological as well. Sometimes, some girls is very physical, some girls is much more psychological. I'm just observing from other people as well that I've seen. Some of the stuff girls have asked me to do, I was kind of like, sister, I don't want to end up in prison. Yeah? For your gratification, I can't go that far. Anyway, that's too. Some of the stuff's too much for me, really. What's there in them? They don't get to be physical. Remember that. Women don't really get to be physical. Maybe in a bit of sport and so on, but generally, sex is the only place they get physical. They don't get to play sport. They don't get to fight. They don't get to have that visceral, you know? The interesting thing is, I've found when you take this more assertive approach, I'm not going to go into this video of how you convey this. Sometimes it's just an energy, but there are actually things you can do as well. Some girls won't bite. Some girls won't bite. Some girls are very wedded to the idea of themselves as a little princess. It's quite funny. Some girls won't bite. Most actually will though. Most will. And with some girls as well, I think there's also an element of they might get turned on by certain things you might say to them, whatever. But actually they might actually be a little bit afraid of losing control themselves. And so they actually rein it in. They rein in that inner demon inside of them. They rein it in. And they kind of be the little Miss Goody Two Shoes. Because they're afraid. They're afraid. And so this is why when I see all this stuff about hypergamy, and with all due respect, you might have seen in my videos, I have a complete disdain for the American influence on so-called, male influences and so on. I don't think it's a seductive culture. I don't think, the seductive Americans, they're the old fucking cowboys. They're the seductive. Europeans, that's what we view as the seductive Americans. The rugged old fucking cowboys. If you were back in the 70s or 80s, you were an American guy with a fucking leather jacket, you went to Paris, fucking hell, you'd have been fucking inundated. But all of this new stuff is fucking autists, hyper. Give me a break, man. They don't know what they're talking about. You're going into the girl's brainstem with this shit. Read 50 Shades of Grey. That's light stuff. Start to explore this side of things. Start to understand this psychology, which is much older than money. It's much older than status. It's much older than being a fucking influence or fashion. It's much older. It's ancient. It's DNA. Being the Dark Prince. Being the Dark Prince. Here we are outside the castle. What a perfect place to talk about this. Yeah. Honestly, there's only so much I can even say on this channel. If you want to hear more, drop me a comment or fucking email me, whatever. With this side of things, there's really only so much I can say. The whip and the heart. That's where you want to be.